I grew up in a preacher's family, and we had some wonderful times growing up. I have some fantastic memories, but I also have a lot of bad memories. There were a lot of hard times. There was a lot of chaos in my family. Daddy had a terrible temper that he just did not know how to manage. And when he would lose his temper, he would rage, and he would become violent and verbally and physically abusive to my mother and my sisters and me.
Well, growing up, our son was just a great guy. He was very docile, I guess you could say. He was like our teddy bear. And so, just a great guy. We used to do father-son getaways every year from the time he was about 12 till I can't remember when, and just enjoyed him as a son.
They decided to send me to my grandparents' house for the summer, for a few weeks in the summer, and it was there that I met a boy, and he did offer me what seemed like love at the time. And for someone who's just so desperately starving for affection and affirmation, I couldn't resist, and I gave myself to him. And so the first time I had sexual relations, I found myself pregnant. 15 and pregnant, and terrified.
It was shortly after he graduated from high school, and we were home alone one evening. Decided to have a date night, and so we were going to put a tape in his VCR so we could record Star Trek and watch our movie. And when Donna got to his VCR, she found a tape already in it. So we confronted him when he came home later that evening, and he told us he had been struggling with same-sex attractions since early puberty, and we had no clue.
And so I had my child and graduated from high school with my parents' help and support. But I decided that I'd had enough of the mountains of Western North Carolina. And so I moved to Daytona Beach, Florida with my best friend. I began partying and drinking and using drugs and really was living the wild prodigal life. And it was about that time that a friend invited me to a gay bar. And so on a weekend night, I went with her to the local gay bar, and I experienced something there I had really never experienced before. I'd been in a lot of bars and clubs and all of that over the years, but there was something very different about this experience. From the moment I walked in, those people made me feel like I was part of them. They made me feel like family, and they just seemed to accept me, and I desperately needed that. So I kept going back again and again. And it wasn't long before I was pursued by a woman.
Unfortunately, he had kept it hidden because many times we had openly expressed and made some very harsh and judgmental statements about gay people and their lifestyles and their choices. And these statements made our son feel unsafe to come to us with the things that he had struggled with since early puberty, with these kinds of feelings. But he didn't feel safe talking to us about him because we were very harsh and judgmental in our comments.